Hello! Today's Pokemon review is on FLAREON. This is the battle figure by PoKeToy, and it does have a little bit of articulation. I was really happy to see a FLAREON figure being produced by PoKeToy because this means there's a chance we get a full articulated evolution set. Now on the back we see some of the other figures being released alongside the FLAREON, and this includes Vaporeon and Jolteon. We also get this leaflet which shows the battle feature figures as well as the epic battle figures, all of which I have reviewed, so go check those videos out. And if you don't want to miss out on any more Pokemon toy reviews, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Now let's have a more detailed look at FLAREON with a 360-degree spin. My first impressions are I really like this FLAREON figure. I think PoKeToy have done an excellent job with it, and I think they've really captured how FLAREON should look. I really like how huge the tail is on this figure. It's the biggest tail I've seen on a FLAREON figure. I also like how chunky the FLAREON figure is. I think with a lot of the older FLAREON figures you can see that they've slimmed down the FLAREON so that it matches with the other evolutions, but I think this chunky FLAREON is exactly how it should look. So in terms of articulation, there are 5 points of articulation on this figure. You get 1 point of articulation in each of the legs, and there's 1 point of articulation in the head. So the front foot can move forwards and backwards, only slightly though before it gets stopped by the fur at the front and the body. Same goes for the back leg, which can move a little before it's stopped by the body and by the tail. You also get the same amount of articulation on the other 2 legs, and even with this minimal articulation you can pose the figure in a lot of different positions. The last point of articulation is on the head, which is on a ball joint, and it is able to rotate around fully 360 degrees. I think the mould on this figure is excellent. Like I said before, I really like how chunky the FLAREON is, and I love the massive tail that they've got. In fact, I think all the fur areas on this figure are really nice. And my favourite part is the ears. I think of all FLAREON figures, this is the one that's depicted the ears the best, and they're made out of a bendable plastic, whereas the rest of it is a harder plastic. I also like the open mouth facial expression FLAREON has. I think it looks really nice. And in terms of the paintwork on the figure is very clean. You can see all the yellows and the oranges are very nicely painted. They've even painted the paws as well, which is a really nice touch. But it isn't as vibrant as it could be, as we will find out when we compare the paintwork to the Tomy figures. So although the paints are nice, they're not as vibrant as they could be. So you can see the difference in the colours used on both of the figures. The Tomy figure is clearly using a lot more vibrant oranges and yellows as compared to the PoKeToy figures. I think the colours used by Tomy are a lot better than the PoKeToy colours. There's also a difference in the size of these figures. The PoKeToy version is slightly bigger than the Tomy version, and you can see how the fur areas on the PoKeToy is a lot more exaggerated than on the Tomy figures. So although the tail is a lot more bigger on the PoKeToy version, it is a lot more detailed on the Tomy version. In fact, all the fur areas on the Tomy one depict fur a lot better than what the PoKeToy does. So the Tomy is definitely better in terms of the amount of detail on the fur sections of the figures. I love the size of the Wicked Cool Toys version's tail. I think it's exactly the size it should be. However, because the tail is made out of 2 separate sections, it causes this huge seam that runs all the way around the tail. And this definitely stands out on the figure, whereas on the Tomy version tail, it's just one piece and therefore there are no ugly seam lines on it whatsoever. So although I like the size of the Wicked Cool Toys tail, I think Tomy's tail is actually the better of the two. In terms of the faces, I think it comes down to a matter of preference. For me, I prefer the open mouth expression on the Wicked Cool Toys version, but I can see how others would like the cute and smiley version on the Tomy face. But overall, both of the faces are very nicely sculpted, and I think they depict Flareon really well. I really like the ears on the Wicked Cool Toys version. I think the larger ears are a more accurate representation of the ears of a Flareon, so I much prefer those compared to the Tomy one. Overall, I think it's nitpicking though, and I think both figures do a really good job at depicting Flareon. In terms of picking between the two, I think it's really difficult to choose one. I think both of them have their pros and cons as I've listed. For me, it comes down to preference if you're just going to choose one, but I like having both of them and I like how they're both quite different to each other. In terms of size, Flareon comes in at 1.5 inches wide, which is around 2.5 inches if you include the ears, and it comes in about 3 inches in depth to the end of the tail. And then in terms of height, he stands at about 2 inches tall to the top of the head, but if you include the tail, that can go up to 3 inches tall. Overall, I really do like this Flareon figure, and I think it's an excellent addition to anybody's Pokemon collection, and it's a definite must buy if you're a Flareon fan or if you're a fan of the evolutions as well. Next up, I will be reviewing the Jolteon Wicked Cool Toys figures and comparing them to their Tomy counterparts. So if you don't want to miss out on those reviews, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. If you liked that video, hit the thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more Pokemon toy reviews, hit that subscribe button now. Now go back and watch all my other videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye.